It's my birthday. Happy birthday. It's my birthday. Happy birthday. That's right. It is. We're in the right angle cross of the Sphinx. This is all about direction. This is me, and the transit, the current transit. And I am here to help guide. I'm a projector. So I'll show you. This is the me part. I am a projector, so I have no energy. I'm a classic projector. No energy, no motor centers. My focused, penetrating aura is here to guide anybody with any sort of energy expression in their chart. Guide that energy when invited, of course. When invited, when recognized and invited. Focused and penetrating aura. So, yeah, this week is my birthday. This is the week of direction. All of my cross stuff is right here in the G center, which is the center of love and direction. Love and direction. And I seem to be here really passionate about helping people to step into their self-love, love of self, right? Like, yeah, that's my jam. So right now, go to this transits, and you can see gate 1, gate 2. So the sun is in gate 2. This right here, this is the seat of the magnetic monopole, that magnet that pulls us along our trajectory in life, should you be following your strategy and authority and operating correctly, of course. It's the gate of the receptive, where receptivity is the primal base through which any response is determined, the root of action. And today is a third line day. So we're looking at, not quite me yet, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow's my solar return. Not my birthday, but it is my solar return. And this gate is calling in patience. The teacher that never stops being a student, always learning, always bumping up against things, making mistakes, maybe heading in the wrong direction, so that you know where the right direction is, because you know where all the wrong ones are. And the frequency here is the recognition that receptivity is a lifelong process. A lifelong process. Now, I'm not a third line being, but I can get down with that one. I am, yeah, I am a line 2 being, so maybe that's why. Higher knowing that cannot wait and demands expression. Okay, so that's that frequency. And we're being pulled into a detriment here in the earth. I'm going to guess, because it's the fixating planet is the earth. So this is here in gate 1. This is the energy to sustain creative work. Materialism disrupts creativity. Yeah. So fourth line is really kind of about aloneness, and I get that, right? So it's like really about not being distracted. And I feel like this is kind of reflected here, because you're getting distracted by money, getting distracted by responsibilities, and living in the 3D world, running, chasing that life, that white picket fence, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Material forces can disrupt creativity and lead to overambition, because remember, this isn't individual lines, and these are about mutation, and individuals really do need to be in their ownness, in themselves, in their own energy, not really being inspired or by others, right? They're taking what they know and they're mutating it on their own. You know, they're doing their thing with it, but our magic is here. You know, this is the creativity doesn't come from, other people's input. It really comes from inside. And it can be kind of alone. It can be kind of melancholic. I was definitely experiencing a lot of melancholy last week. So if you were experiencing that as well, you might experience that some more this week because of this individual energy that the sun and earth are both in. We're being grounded in individuality this week. And that can be a beautiful thing, but it can be a very challenging thing because mutation, expansion, you know, crisis. Where's that? I'm so fascinated by this crisis, the darkening of the light. Oh, we're in the North Node. Okay, so yeah, this is a fourth line. Espionage, the realization that knowledge, both covert and esoteric, is necessary if one is to be prepared for crisis and change. Okay, esoteric and necessary, and a little bit hidden. You're not going to be able to just let everybody know what you're up to, things that you know, in order to make that change. Some of it you got to keep to yourself. The energy of crisis, the double agent crisis, knowledge is available to others, but for a price. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That is absolutely okay. Take it from a projector. The guide, the focused and penetrating aura of the projector is meant to be invited and recognized. But we must get energetic. There must be an equal energy exchange because we need to be supported. We don't have consistent access to that life force energy that we need to survive, right? We need money, we need resources. And if people are expecting us to do what we do for free, that's not it. That's not it. So if you're a projector, you are worthy. You are worthy. Okay. I've talked a lot about that. Let's see what the cards have in store for us today or this week. Okay. I got 37. Hexagram 37, and there was 6 in the fourth place, a changing line. And 37, the family, the clan. 37. I don't remember. This is about community and human design. I don't remember what this exact one is called. Maybe if you know, you can put it in the comments. This hexagram represents the laws obtaining within the family. The strong line at the top represents the father, the lowest, the son. The strong line in the fifth place represents the husband, the yielding second line, the wife. On the other hand, the two strong lines in the fifth and the third place represents two brothers, and the two weak lines correlated with them in the fourth and the second place stand for their respective wives. Thus, all the connections and relationships within the family find their appropriate expression. Each individual line has the character according with its place. The fact that a strong line occupies the sixth place, where a weak line might be expected, indicates very clearly the strong leadership that must come from the head of the family. The line is to be considered here not in its quality as the sixth, but in its quality as the top line. The family shows the laws operative within the household that transfer to outside life, keep the state of the world in order. The influence that goes out from within the family is represented by the symbol of the wind created by fire. The judgment. The family. The perseverance of the woman furthers. The foundation of the family is the relationship between husband and wife. The tie that holds the family together lies in the loyalty and perseverance of the wife. Her place is within the second line, while that of the husband is without, fifth line. It is in accord with the great laws of nature that husband and wife take their proper places. Within the family, a strong authority is needed. This is represented by the parents. If the father is really a father and the son a son, if the elder brother fulfills his position and the younger fulfills his, if the husband is really a husband and the wife a wife, then a family is in order. When the family is in order, all the social relationships of mankind will be in order. Remember, they're talking freely from an archetypal, just like role playing kind of thing. So the role and the embodiment of the archetype of being a husband, being a wife, being a son, being a man, that's what they're talking about here. So don't need to take it, at its face value, although you can. Although you can. 3 of the 5 social relationships are to be found within the family. That between father and son, which is the relation of love. That between husband and wife, which is the relation of chaste conduct. And that between elder and younger brother, which is the relation of correctness. The loving reverence of the son is then carried over to the prince in the form of faithfulness to duty. The affection and correctness of behavior existing between the two brothers are extended to a friend in the form of loyalty, and to a person of superior rank in the form of deference. The family is society in embryo. It is the native soil on which performance of moral duty is made easy through natural affection, so that within a small circle of a basis of moral practice is created, and this is later widened to include human relationships in general. And so the image, the wind comes forth from fire. The image of the family. Thus, the superior man has substance in his words and duration in his way of life. Heat creates energy. This is signified by the wind stirred up by the fire and issuing forth from it. This represents influence working from within outward. The same thing is needed in the regulation of the family. Here, too, the influence on others must proceed from one's own person. In order to be capable of producing an influence, one's words must have power, and this they can have only if they are based on something real. Just as flames depend on its fuel, words have influence only when they are pertinent and clearly related to definite circumstances. General discourses and admonitions have no effect whatsoever. Furthermore, the words must be supported by one's entire conduct, just as the wind is made effective by its duration. Only firm and consistent conduct will make such an impression on others that they can adapt and conform to it. If words and conduct are not in accord and not consistent, they will have no effect. So again, we had a changing line at the 4th. So 6 at the 4th. Excuse me. This means she is the treasure of the house. Great good fortune. It is upon the woman of the house that the well-being of the family depends. Well-being prevails when expenditures and income are soundly balanced. This leads to great good fortune. In the sphere of public life, this line refers to the faithful steward whose measures further the general welfare. I'm really glad I read this because I feel like this line really kind of mirrors the 21 in the heart. The 2145 is the line of the materialist. And, I think of it as like the queen, the one who supports the king in his work. And she's the keeper of the resources, the stewardess of the resources. And this whole thing really works because of her work, and she's kind of like the silent partner, but very, very, mm, very powerful in her own right, often overlooked. And me being a single mother, as you know, playing mother and father, really, in a way, you know. Anyway, first quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. Today's cards I picked not because they fell out of the deck, but because I saw them and they resonated. And I knew that this was the message for us this week, guys. Speak your world into being. Think about what you want. Guys, I really would want you to do these this week. If you trust me and you love me, think about what you want. Do you really believe you can create it? Do you believe you have what it takes, or do you secretly doubt yourself? Worse, are you quietly preparing for failure? Say it ain't so. This is so perfect for the week of direction. Like if I could guide you in this is so perfect. Here's the thing, you can't fool the universe. Here's the thing, you can't fool the universe. Repeated affirmations that you don't believe are a waste of time. Believe in your magic, guys. If someone has spoken or written unkind words to you, counter them with kind words to yourself. Guys, try it. Speak your world into being. Talk about it as though it's already happening. I have a lot of words in my mind. They came to me especially last week, but words from, that my mother used to say to me and words that James used to say to me that have been echoing in my mind and making me feel small. So these are perfect for me too. Manifesting mindset. Ask your soul to speak to you. Listen to your heart and not your mind. Write lists of your goals. Take the time to do that. Tune in to your manifesting powers. The throat chakra is found at the base of the throat, and it is a beautiful sky blue color. It helps you to express yourself. What words are you speaking to yourself and others? Go ahead and give your throat chakra a gentle massage today, guys. Make that a part of your practice. Imagine yourself in a column of bright and breezy sky blue. Call in the Gemini constellation and say these words as you press this card to the base of your throat. Or press your hands to the base of your throat in a gentle massage. Energies of the first quarter moon in Gemini, thank you for helping me to raise my thoughts and sow my vibrations. You are worth the time that it would take to do this simple call. And when to manifest your magic? Best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Gemini on a Wednesday or during Mercury's hour. The first quarter moon in Gemini takes place when the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Gemini. It knows that dreams can come true and a plan helps. See, this full moon, I think we're going to be in Taurus, so that is appropriate considering it's my birthday, guys. All right, so moonology. And of course, my white light oracle deck. Always. These are my power cards. My little gift from me to you this week is this card that I have placed in here upside down. So this was another card that I saw it and I knew this was it. Shaktipat of Seahorse. Card 31. It just is calling to me, guys. This is for us. This is for us. As you embrace your inner essence, you will be at peace with who you are, including your vulnerability, and no longer see the need to conform to social ideals which have no true resonance with your heart. You are encouraged to trust your intuitive recognition of which environments and relationships harmonize well with you. Be discerning, supporting your spiritual growth and well being on all levels. You have the innate capacity to manifest. You do. Relax, and you shall attract all that you need through the magnetic monopole, guys. Through the magnetic monopole, there in your G center. Everybody has it. Whether your G center is colored in or not, everybody has it. Volatile or overly restless seas compromise the well being of the seahorse. Of course, water represents emotions. Such intensity drains their energy, forcing them to go against their naturally gentle way of being. They have to be strong. They thrive in environments that are calm and accommodate their slow, graceful movements. Rather than aggressively hunting, seahorses patiently wait until what they need comes their way and then actively receive it. Guys, I feel like this is me. I have been not feeling social media, Instagram, Facebook madness. Seahorse has a relationship of commensalism with seagrass and coral. Commensalism is the medicine of connection, protection, and stabilization. Community. In such a relationship, we receive what we need without being parasitic. We intelligently seek out sources that naturally support us rather than attempting to manipulate someone or something to be other than what it is. In the case of the seahorse, as it hides from predators in the seagrass and steadies itself in coral, neither seagrass nor coral are harmed. The symbiotic relationship of seahorse and its helpful friends reflects the supportive nature of the relationship between soul and spirit. Spirit will provide whatever support the soul requires to thrive. In Greek myth, the seahorse is hippocampus, which translate as horse of the sea, known both as steeds of the gods and as benevolent creatures who prevented sailors from drowning or becoming lost at sea. Seahorses are a symbol of protection. They are about outmaneuvering negative forces and bringing grace and peace. Seahorse is our guardian when we are going through challenging times, especially on an emotional level. Shaktipat is a transmission of grace. It is an enlightening gift of energy that enables mastery. Shaktipat of Seahorse empowers us to instinctively seek environments that are conducive to our well-being, rather than damaging ourselves by trying to adapt to external situations or societal values. It teaches that we are enough and that we have the innate spiritual magnetism to attract what we need in our lives. We gravitate away from falsehood and toward authentic being. Named for its seahorse-like shape, the hippocampus is the neural center in the human brain. It helps us navigate our way in the world and finds where we can thrive and best avoid negative influences. That's so fascinating. Each seahorse has a unique coronet or crown on the top of its head. It is said that, like human fingerprints, no two are completely alike. This oracle assures you that your path and what supports you will be unique. If you attempt to fit into social constructs or cliques that don't reflect your essence, you will weaken yourself and become more susceptible to negativity. You are encouraged to consider what is natural and best for you, to be honest and authentic even in your vulnerability. It is only from that place that you can respond appropriately. When you are in your authenticity, much power and grace shall rally to support you. The world can seem unfriendly or unsupportive at times, but this oracle reassures you that As you honor who you are, you will naturally find friends and attract supportive assistance to obtain all you need to thrive. So here's your healing practice, guys, your healing process. Take a moment to place your hand on your heart and imagine, feel, intend, and desire to really connect to your true inner self. You can imagine going beneath the layer of your appearance and outer self into the inner realm of your soul. Say aloud, I trust in the uniqueness, sacred beauty, higher purpose, and perfect inner potential that I am. I surrender into the unconditionally loving acceptance that Spirit has for me, and heed the encouragement to be my true self. I do not need to adapt, compromise, or alter myself to be like anyone else. My true nature is divinely designed, and I seek to cast off ego concepts like tattered old clothes, standing peaceful, luminous, and unshackled in my own true nature. From that place of truth, I feel connected to my heart. I can easily attract all I desire from this place of authenticity and integrity. May all beings know such peace, comfort, and love. You can rest in this connection with yourself, hand on heart, if you choose, for as long as feels right for you. Then ground and hydrate. You have completed your healing process. Shaktipat of Seahorse. So I'll close this off by just a little birthday gift to myself. I'd like to invite you to a couple of communities that I am gathering myself. I am wanting to reconnect with people that resonate with me, with my friends. And so when I speak to you now, I'm speaking to you as friend to friend. There's a couple of Zoom meetings that I am hosting, and if you're interested, they are free. In joining these communities and creating community, creating just connection. We're going through tough times right now, and I aim to be optimistic and a beacon of bright light as best as I can, although sometimes I am not, of course. But we need support. We need that community, I think, or at least I do. And if this is something that you would like to join, please let me know in the comments. And as always, share this with a friend who you think is really needing this information. Please, 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 please share this with at least one person that you know that would really resonate with this message. I would really appreciate that. Some new people, some new blood, some new friends. Introduce me. And as always, love yourself.